Senku's like, well, the body spends so much time in a stone that we lost like our normal texture, like our normal skin. So there's spots with the stone, and it's also implied because he also has one, which will be super important later down the story. But yeah, oh, nice. Get had a freaking puddle once again. Don't know why. So the stone here is important in a sense of you establish something. For example, how can I put this? You put the gunpowder, you put the fourth usage of something, and it's important because you have you install something. You have this. Okay, well, I didn't have this idea before, and they presented this before, but I need this for a plot, which is later on. So basically, what happened? Spoiler: she's gonna have a piece of stone here, which means that they have a piece of stone. We also saw it with Tsukasa, but Tsukasa was in his hair, so it might be something that's just for the hair. Senku has one here, so Tsukasa gonna come and kill him, which is a hit to the nape, right? Attack on Titan shit. It's gonna be hitting the stone instead of hitting the skin. So not important right away, but important later down the route. Later down the road. So then talking about the girl talks about how they're tired, and this is super cool because that pushes them to go to a hot bath. And it's kind of crazy because when when you read so much manga, when you watch enough anime, you start not comparing them, but somehow comparing them, and it's kind of crazy because it made me think of Zombie 100, where it's normal people and they're still kids. We don't really talk about how they're kids, but they're still kids. They go to the hot spring, and it's kind of super important. They take the time to do a bamboo thing, which is men bath and women's bath, which is super cultural and super important. So that I did appreciate that. And Senku was like, dude, here is amazing because we're able to get some sulfur and we're able to get some charcoal. So two of the ingredients we needed for the gunpowder, which is to create the gun that's going to be able to take out Tsukasa. Tsukasa is there. But at the same time, Tsukasa is understanding that they're going to Akone, which is a city in Japan. So all we had to do is there. Senju is proud because, and it is crazy because, again, the mangaka that writes this likes to do it. But you see both. So you see Senku and you see Tsukasa. So in the first option, in the first case, you see Tsukasa. And Tsukasa has this idea of, okay, well, my goal is to stop Senku. And he finally realized that they're going to the city. And Senku, on the other panel, realized that, dude, there's just black powder and we're closer than ever for doing this. So it is kind of nice. It is kind of nice we're seeing that. Number freaking 8. I'm gonna have to go back to the couch because again, battery function, dude. Send a smoke signal. So this is super cool, right? But now what they're doing is they're creating what shall we call it? The um it's nuts. Oh my god, this is so cute. This is so fucking cute. So there's a big part of Yuzu Riha, I forget your name, I'm so sorry, and Taiju. And we know that Taiju went to tell her that he loved her before we went into the Stone Age. So like, okay, well, this is supposed to be going on right now. But what ended up happening is, and Taiju is, and this is kind of crazy because it makes a lot of sense. Kind of like a bitch move, but it makes a lot of sense. So basically, we know that he wanted to tell her that he loved her before, and that was the important part. But then you realize that the important part is also that if he has this whole goal of the guy is to go to whatchamacallit. The whole goal of the guy is to get in a relationship, right? And he's like, okay, well, I don't know what to do. If I'm able to see this, I'm able to see this. If I'm not able to see this, I'm not able to see this, right? And if you put it right there, his story or his story arc finishes, and so that's pretty much important, right? So then he has this mention, and honestly speaking, this is kind of the weird part about Other Stone because you see Taiju, who old journeys about getting the girl that he loved to like him back, or telling her that she loves her, even though she loves him back, right? And then the whole goal of Senku, which is much bigger, is to save the world. So like, okay, it's a lot, very, very different, right? And this is kind of crazy because they do a recap. Now, ultimately speaking, the recap is important. Why? Because the recap is important in a sense of I've been binge watching, but this is chapter 7. So even if they release it bi-monthly, this is 3 months, right? So now we have the other ingredient for gunpowder, which is the sulfur, which is the charcoal. Charcoal, you just need to burn down some wood, which is kind of cool. I see a lot of people doing doing this and using charcoal for that. I'm watching Outdoors Boys, and he uses charcoal a lot, right? And then we have the salt pepper. So this is kind of cool because we create this, and you need to create a You need to create a I don't know what it is, but it needs to pound the powder, right? And Taiju goes in and he blows them up, which is super funny because it shows that the gunpowder works, and also show how much progress they're making. You start fantasizing about the fact that they got one on Tsukasa, and if Tsukasa happened, this is going to be what's going on. And this is kind of crazy because we have one now. This is important. So Taiju's like, yeah, we can beat him now. It's like, if I don't have to, I don't have to, because I kind of want to make a deal. And he said that Taiju making a deal made him realize that Tsukasa wasn't trying to make a deal. And the chance, so see, this is the crazy part. Morally speaking, Tsukasa is bad because he's killing. It's morally speaking, Senju is right because he's not killing. If Senju kills somebody, even if it's Tsukasa, he still kills someone. That still counts. You understand what I mean? So then, if we can avoid that, we can avoid everything, right? So then, talk about they're talking about how they kill him, and she says, "What happened if it doesn't work? Well, I have to kill him, right?" So we see that there's still resolve, and again, something that I appreciate about Senku is that that he has to kill Tsukasa. I think that he not only knows that he has to kill Tsukasa, but he still tries to be like, "Yo, if I have to kill him, I'll kill him. I don't mind killing him." So that I did appreciate that because I did feel it was important. So then, because of that, we see some fire, right? We see a smoke signal. So this is crazy. We have the black smoke from the gunpowder, and then we have some other smoke, right? And then they're like, what do? Do we send back a message from them or not? If we send back a message from them, we can say like, yo, we can talk. So smoke signal are old. But here's the thing. You can send a smoke signal and alert people that are communicating with you. If you do that, you see that Tsukasa, it will see the signal, right? So this is kind of important. So we have the black signal. We make more. Tsukasa see this and he goes after the smoke signal. By the way, he takes the girl hostage, which is kind of cool. And he's like, okay, well, I knew it was going to come to this, right? I knew that this was going to come to this. There was no choice of redemption, which is super fucking cool, right? And then, because what he says is like, dude, I'll spare you. If you promise me that you're not going to go against me, I don't have to kill you. And this is kind of crazy because he's like, dude, I never had a person that I care about, but I care about you. He said that to Senju. And Senju's like, you have your best friend here. You might not care about her, but you care about him, and he cares about her. So, ultimately speaking, you care about her. So this whole hostage situation, and this is where Senku has to be bluffing, and then his bluff gets called out. So, ultimately at the end, it doesn't work, right? Then we see the past, we see the story of what is so important, right? And he says, you know what? I'm going to let you guys go if you give me the formula for reviving people. Now, ultimately speaking, if Tsukasa get the recipe for killing people, for reviving people, the group is dead. Why? Well, because Tsukasa... Oh, shit. I forgot that. Okay, never mind. Tsukasa alone is strong. And also, Tsukasa does things very differently. Senju, if he survives people, he's not going to discriminate. Tsukasa, if he revives people, he's going to be in the knowledge of fighting Senku. So even then, the ideology is very different. And the strength of Tsukasa is that he's willing to go to a place that Senku isn't willing to go. So, for example, he's willing to kill, which Senku isn't. Now, ultimately speaking, do I believe that Senku will be able to kill? Yes. I think he's logical. I don't think he's emotional. I think he's able to kill. However, in this is very advanced. And I don't think Dr. Stone will ever go there, but still. The morality. So I hate comparing this, but it's a post-apocalyptic world, right? I'm comparing it to Walking Dead a lot. And in Walking Dead, you'd be like, okay, well, if the leader of our group No. Shit. Aha. Jackie G. Good. 20, come on. Hey, no problem. Should have checked. Should have checked. Good. Okay. It's a good break because I invited somebody. I don't want to invite people. Yeah, I invite somebody that I didn't want to invite. I don't invite people. So when you invite people, if they come, what you do is you leave the application because they'll put your life on pause. And then what they'll do is they cannot allow you to not allow you to be doing what must be done. Oh shit, ad. Oh, I also need to text something about ad. I have to talk to ad. Where's the she? Where is she? I'm gonna have to do the whole fucking thing, dude. It's gonna be complex. It's gonna be super complex. Ta 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 ta. Uh-huh. That's Timbo. Ta 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 da 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 da. You live, step, staying. Da 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 da. Content de t'avoir vu aujourd'hui.
Full day of eating Ukrainian food on the bowl. For breakfast, our mom is cooking two large pork legs.
Pork legs.
For protein, soy
Max Boy, are you live, dude, or no? Good. Okay, next on the list. Next on the list, we have some more. So we'll say that we stopped at 141. 401. 401. 30. Okay, so we're gonna continue. We have, sorry guys, it's a bit hard to be focused. I gotta admit that. This is super cool because what he says is he's know that Tsukasa is on his way. So Taiju tells Senku like, dude, what do we do? And then he's like, raise the signal. And this is really cool because the girl that we see is gonna be an important part. See a silhouette which you recognize the girl, and she's gonna be super important in the story. She's a friend, but you basically are doing something horrible. Having a smoke signal means there's people on the planet that are still alive, but you don't know if they're more like Tsukasa or like Senju. And because there could be more like Tsukasa, you're telling the bad people that are on his way. However, here's the thing. Right? Tsukasa is on his way. So if they're allies, they're gonna help. If they're enemies, Tsukasa's gonna kill you nonetheless, right? Taiju goes in and he's able to protect Senku. We have a story of the past, which is making some what should we call it? My apologies. Some clay, but he fucks up. So kind of funny because you don't know about clay, and I gotta say, Dr. Stone is teaching you a lot, and that's kind of fun. One of my favorite book ever is Fight Club, and in the first couple of seconds, they tell you how to do a bomb, which is fucking funny. So we see chapter 10. This is kind of cool because at the end of the last chapters, Tsukasa was like, dude, Senku, if you stop making science right now, I won't kill you. And then you see the path of Senku, which is super, 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 super pushed by science. So this is a story of the important science for Senku. And of course, we know that this is what ruled his life and what is the most important thing for him, but we know why. So, him as a kid, how he was super involved and super able to do anything. We see his father. His father is amazing, right? So his father is sacrificing everything. He sells his car to be able to buy the equipment for Senku. Now, this is the bad part, okay? So his father, you later learn that he's an astronaut. Because his father has a very cool part, and sorry, should I spoil it? Basically, his father is in space. So when the green light hits, his father is in space. He doesn't get hit. He goes back to the planet. You see that everybody is. This is really cool. You see that everybody is on stone. It's like, oh, if somebody can fix it, it's my son. My son's gonna be able to fix that shit. And then what he does is he spent his whole life picking up some. I don't remember what the I don't remember what the resource is, but he spent his whole life checking the resource. And why? Because he wants Senku to be able to do this project, right? And it's gonna be super important. So we see Senku, we see the experiments, we see how he meets Taiju. Taiju and him become best friend. We see a panel where Senku is basically being bullied, and Taiju is protecting Senku. So this is super cool, right? Now they're doing this whatchamacallit. They're doing this rocket, right? And they want to have 3 puppets. And this is super cool because Taiju brings the girl, Yuku Zaha. And because Yuku Zaha is here, that's a tree run, right? And this is important because the tree are going to go to the rocket launch. And sure, they're going to go to the space. Then it fails, and Senku was able to send the rocket to space. His dream is to be an astronaut like his father, right? So Senku's like, "Fuck you! I'm not gonna give up on science. I can't do it." And Tsukasa is saying, "I'm gonna have to kill you." And then Senku's like, "Please do it quickly. Do it super nicely, right?" And Tsukasa says something that's really sweet, really, 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 really fucking sweet. He says, you know what? I'm gonna start including what Penguin says. Penguin is a user of this website I'm using, which is Manga Red, and he is the only person that comments. And he writes greatest Zeta and greatest friendship. So he always writes the comments, and he's been writing comments every single chapters for 10 chapters. And I find it sad because he's the only one that did it. There's no conversation. I feel like the guy is a bit lonely, so we're gonna help him out. We're gonna help out Penguin. We got this. We got this. By the way, I want to come back to what I said before. So about the person, right? I feel bad. I'm talking about the loneliness. I feel bad. My issue was the guy reached a certain goal for followers, and I basically got him here. Now people are gonna say like, "Oh, you're jealous." No, I have more followers. So I'm not jealous.